Okay, so Jason Whitlock said something stupid. All right, and I was gonna talk about LSU women's basketball team and how I think that they're going to the White House now, which I think that they should. Every right to be mad and offended, but I think if you were face to face with Jill Biden, and they can really give it to her, you know what I'm saying? Give it to her, because I guarantee you she does not know still why she messed up. The media kind of messed up too, and the way they covered it, but whatever. But that's why they go face to face with Joe Biden, make it public, give it to her, and then reconcile. I think that could be a beautiful moment, but I can't talk about that because now I gotta talk about Jason Whitlock saying something stupid. Okay, so pretty much he was on with Tucker Carlson, and he was talking about, for whatever reason, Fox is always looking for opportunities to paint the transgender community in a negative light. That day was no different, and he was just said you just can't do it with the transgender community anymore. This is what he's saying, and that he's talking about seceding, which has also been another talking point from the right recently, so he was already talking nonsense, all right? So he added onto that nonsense the Bible. Pretty much he brings up the scripture, I think it's in 2 Corinthians 6, 14 through 18, I think. And pretty much the scripture is talking about not to be together with people who don't believe like you do. All right, it's talking to Christians. So be united with one another. Focus on God. Don't be united with unbelievers. And the scripture he's referring to says to come out from them. And so Jason Whitlock uses that to talk about the transgender community, and really just to be a bigot like he is, and to kind of mask all that with the Bible, which is pretty sick when you think about it. So it's got to be in context, all right? I'm actually trying to be nice. Trying to be. A lot of things I'd like to say about the dude, but I'm not going to, all right? You got to make sure whenever you hear somebody preaching the Bible, using the Bible, especially outside the realm of church, but even in the realm of church, that it's used in context, all right? So the scripture he's referring to, the Apostle Paul wrote it to a church, that they would focus on worshiping God, all right? And he quotes prophets from back in the day he quotes prophets, and it's important back in that time that you know that I'm not going to bore you, I'm not going to go on and on, don't worry, that the Jewish people had the law of God, and the only ones with the law of God, right? And there weren't anybody else with the law of God. So they really had to stay together to serve God, all right? So the scripture is about a church worshiping the Lord, staying focused, and not to pair with anyone who's going to get them unfocused from worshiping God. Has nothing to do with what Jason Whitlock's talking about, all right? We are not a church, and this country, sure enough, ain't focused on worshiping God, so it has nothing to do. You took it out of context, so please just stop. Especially the far right. I feel like Republicans only use scriptures to get people to follow authority, or to talk about, negatively sex or sexual orientation, something like that. And then they ignore scriptures concerning compassion and giving and stuff like that. So just keep the scriptures out of politics. Just stop. All right. Plus, we're not a Christian nation. We never have been. So bringing up the Bible, to me, my opinion, is always a bad argument. And on this level, because we're just not a Christian nation. We have freedom of religion. So we can't be a Christian nation if we have freedom of religion. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different people, a lot of different beliefs. So it's a bad argument. But since we're talking about the Bible, I got a Bible here. And this is another way to look at some things, all right? So again, I'm not going to be long. Romans 12, verse 16. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be proud, but be willing to associate with people of low position. Do not be conceited. Do not repay evil for evil. Be careful to do what is right in the eyes of everybody. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Now, the Bible talks about unity, but this is harmony, right? It's a little bit different, right? Unity, we're all kind of coming together for one focus, but harmony focuses on how we're different parts coming together, right? Different parts, different backgrounds, different beliefs, all right? You know, you think that Jesus and the apostles only spoke to Christians, right? Different beliefs. Now, they preached, they did their thing, they spoke truth, but you live in a community, right? So, I mean, as much as it depends on you, live at peace. And just stop. But Jason Whitlock, just stop. Stupid.